What's up, everybody? Sam Dog the Infamous 253 coming at you guys with a video. Sorry I haven't been doing much videos lately. There hasn't really been a whole lot going on since I went to the last Dragons home game. I'm joined by Dallas Stewart on the power of the speakerphone. Say what's up, Dallas.
What's going on, everybody? It's just a quiet time,
Yeah,
off-season wise.
yeah, but it's only 16 days until we start the new league season with the free agency, and there's been some pretty unique rumors on like where's Tom Brady gonna go, where are some of these free agent quarterbacks gonna go. Andy Dalton to Chicago, trade to Chicago rumors,
Wow.
Cam Newton trade rumors, which possibly on TPS, one of them saying that Cam Newton should go, that they should try to trade, that the Colts should try to make an attempt to trade for Cam Newton. But another developing thing I heard earlier this morning was a rumor that the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to try and trade Nick Foles.
Wow. Yeah. And I didn't hear about Andy Dalton going to Chicago. I don't know if they're fed up with Trubisky yet.
Another rumor is could Andy Dalton go to New England if Tom Brady leaves?
Yeah, that definitely could happen. I just think it wouldn't be wise for Tom Brady to leave.
Yeah, to be honest, I could not see Tom Brady playing anywhere else other than in New England. I mean, Kraft wants Brady there. The question is, what's the deal with Bill Belichick? What is Belichick going to want? And then another main issue is what are we going to do free agency wise and draft wise? Like, I'm hearing some things about some pass rush needs, and then we don't know if we're going to keep Jadeveon Clowney, which I mean, will we pay or will we not pay? If not, one of the guys is rumoring Jadeveon Clowney possibly going to the Baltimore Ravens. Another rumor is possibly the New York Giants or the Indianapolis Colts in that mix for Jadeveon Clowney in the free agency market. We know we can't do a franchise tag on him because it was part of the trade deal that we weren't going to franchise tag Jadeveon Clowney's year. We were going to have him for that 1 year and we re-sign him or we let him go. But I think we get a comp pick if we let Clowney go. I think, but personally, I don't know how it's gonna play out. I'm just gonna let Pete and John make the decisions on that, like most of us should really do. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Anything else on your mind too, Dallas?
Well, I mean, yeah, I think if Brady does leave, then that would open the door for the Bills to probably win the AFC East. I would like them because I mean, then I think the Patriots go into rebuild mode because I don't think they have their answer at quarterback
Yeah, but
unless they draft a quarterback.
it's hard to say with New England with the coach like with Bill Belichick what he has planned and
I
then.
personally think Tom Brady should retire.
Yeah, and then also other free agency, like who are the defending champs gonna lose in free agency? Who are they gonna trade in free agency? What are the defending NFC champ 49ers gonna do in free agency? I mean, we all know George Kittle's gonna break the tight end bank. We know that.
Yeah. Well, and the Seahawks did pick up Greg Olson
Yeah,
recently.
and then Greg Olson's gonna get his 88 in next, and Will Dissly's gonna honor Doug Baldwin by wearing his old number 89.
Oh.
It is an interesting take. Should we go through another interesting theory, which would go close to you? Because I was looking a while back at Bucky Brooks' mock draft, which we all know the obvious number one is going to be Joe Burrow going to the Cincinnati Bengals, which the draft is on April 23rd from Las Vegas. And there were some other crazy rumors about a possibility what if Detroit were to snag Tua at number 3?
Yeah, that's an interesting rumor right there.
It would. I would be completely shocked if the Lions decide to snag Tua at number 3, and then also, oh yeah, I got a new laptop for my birthday, guys. So I'll be able to be going live a lot more whenever I feel the need to go live for some certain things. It's make it easier for Red Zone reactions. And Brendan Nelson had some interesting takes on our situation with offensive line and pass rush. And I'll tell you what, some mock drafts have us picking up that pass rusher from Penn State, which is let me get to it really quick because we're picking at number 27, which is Yetur Gross-Matos. That's who Bucky has us picking. Says the ex-Penn State standout has the length, athleticism, and burst Seattle covets in an edge rusher. But we don't know if we're gonna either trade up this year or maybe trade down, considering we have about like 10 or 11 picks in this draft. I think we have 10 picks though. But what do you think on this, Dallas?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do with their first pick.
Yeah,
I don't know what need. I don't know where they choose to address one of their needs on the roster.
because we got a lot of needs we got addressed on both sides of the trenches. I know I've been telling Brendan a lot that we need to be going heavy on the trenches for both sides, offensive line and defensive line, on his free agency. Which you guys can go check out Brendan's whiteboard videos too, which he makes some pretty good points. But we don't know how Pete and John want to play this out. You know, you've been watching Brendan's videos, right, Dallas?
I watched some of them if I can get a chance.
Yeah, in free agency, but
It's just kind of at least we kind of have the XFL to like as a alternative.
and the Dragons finally benched trash ass Brandon Silvers for BJ Daniels. They're 1-3, but who knew? I mean, we didn't know. I mean, no one knew what we were gonna get for like the teams for who was gonna be good, who was gonna be bad. I think right now the best team in the XFL is looking like the Houston Roughnecks because they're the only undefeated team left in the XFL. But St. Louis is turning the table a bit, looking pretty good, and for XFL wise, and then also you got the DC Defenders were looking good in the beginning, and then they just lost 2 straight to LA, and they gave Tampa Bay Vipers their first win too. But that's XFL stuff.
It's finally off the schneid.
But I will say this though, I've really enjoyed watching the XFL. It's been fun.
Yeah, it's been something fun to watch when the NFL season is over.
Yeah.
I kind of hope it lasts at least 5 years this time.
And the atmosphere going to the
It's kind of a
Scapegoat.
alternative, like to when the NFL season's over.
Yeah, and being at the games was pretty fun too. The atmosphere of being at the Dragons games has been pretty fun. And then I heard St. Louis put up a pretty big audience on their home opener, especially one person. Obviously, they were doing a bunch of Kroenke sucks chants, and one group of people had a pinata stand Kroenke filled with booze, and they busted that one open. That was pretty funny to watch that one too.
Yeah, it's cool to see football back in St. Louis.
For the XFL wise, but now back to NFL wise. This one hits close to you because I know you're a diehard you're a UW Husky fan, and what I don't get is for this one for what Bucky Brooks is going in there, but Jacob Eason to the Green Bay Packers at number 30, which he says with Aaron Rodgers entering the twilight of his career, the Packers could snag their quarterback of the future and let him spend a few years as an apprentice before taking over the franchise. I don't know. I don't really know about that one because also there's a couple of other good quarterbacks out there too. With we don't know what's going to happen with that quarterback from Utah State, which I think is Justin Love.
Oh, quarterback?
Yeah, from Utah State, Bobby Wagner's alma mater.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if Eason goes in the first round because he started his freshman year at Georgia, gets injured. Transfers to UW, has to sit out, I believe, the 2018 season, I want to say. And I don't think he's first round ready yet. I personally think he should have stayed at UW another year. And I definitely don't know who's going to be the quarterback for UW this next coming season.
Yeah.
There's a lot of question marks about well, obviously with Chris Peterson being gone, there's a lot of question marks with UW's football team right now. But like, I just don't see the pack. I still think Aaron Rodgers. I still think he has a few good years left. I'd be surprised if Jacob Eason goes at the high.
Yeah, but then again, we gotta talk. But still, that would be interesting to see. I kind of was like, what is Bucky thinking with Jacob Eason possibly going to Green Bay?
I know he. I saw him play in high school for Lake Stevens in a state playoff game against Scott. I mean, he has a really his arm strength is top notch. But I mean, I still wish he had stayed at UW another year. He could have improved his draft stock a lot, that's for sure. A lot of the analysts said he wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Happened to sit out a year after transferring from Georgia.
Another thing is, though, other than that, though, will the Seahawks trade up in the draft for a specific name if Pete and John feel the need to pull the trigger to trade up in the draft?
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Or do they trade back again for more
It'll
picks?
be interesting to see what free agents they let go.
Yeah. Obviously, we all want to see Ifedi go. We don't know what's going to happen with the Jadeveon Clowney saga, the Jaron Reed saga, the Justin Britt saga, and I mean, Brendan Nelson put up a good video for who he would like to see us get at center for the upcoming draft or in free agency, which possibly he wants a potential move possibly for Alex Mack, or he did a pretty good video on that too. Go check it out whenever you guys get a chance to. He gave some pretty good information, better than what I mean. I try to give out pretty good info too for what I think we should do, but then again, in the end, it's all up to Pete and John and what they decide to do for the good of the team. But obviously, we need to really beef up the offensive line because we know Dwayne Brown isn't young. I mean, he's up there in age too, and and in missing on draft picks in the past few years too. You know, you usually get a lot of holes when you miss on draft picks. You know, so it's a matter of this. This has to be a big year where we have to hit on the draft.
Yeah, I think that's the main key in the offseason. Also, what kind of free agents we can bring in.
Yeah, but other than that,
if we can compete with, if we can reclaim the NFC West, I would like to reclaim the NFC West this next coming season.
Yeah, you and me both, but it's whatever happens in the NFL. But also, I will say this: I heard that the Arizona Cardinals also were named the host team for the Mexico City game for 2020 at Estadio Azteca. Personally, for me, I would like to see us get that as a road game. Hopefully for Seahawks versus Cardinals in Estadio Azteca, and hope
that would be cool because we've played in London and we've played in Toronto against Buffalo.
Yeah, we beat the Raiders in London, and if we get to play this game in Mexico City against the Arizona Cardinals, then Russell Wilson would be the first quarterback to play a game in 4 different countries, and if we get a win in that, make him the first quarterback to win a game in 4 different countries, because Tom Brady never got to play in Toronto against the Buffalo Bills in their old Toronto series, which the Bills don't even go to Toronto for a game anymore.
No, and there was one game I think in Mexico City last year, and I think that was the Chiefs Chargers Monday night game.
It was, and the Chiefs got like 3 interceptions of Phillip Rivers, and Frank Clark had like a monster game before winning the Super Bowl. Heck, the Kansas City Chiefs are now the first team to play a game in Mexico City and go on to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But the first team ever to play a game internationally and go on to win the Super Bowl was the 2007 Giants when they went and played that game at Wembley in London against the Miami Dolphins in 2007.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that hasn't happened for a while where a team has played international in the same.
Waiting for the months to. I mean, I'm just kind of waiting for the draft to get over, the schedule to come out, and I'm looking forward to I start getting excited I start looking forward and start previewing and thinking about the upcoming season, like after 4th of July when we're like 3 weeks away from training camp. It can't get here soon enough.
And free agency can't get here.
The off season's too long.
Yeah, free agency can't get here soon enough too, because I like to see which players go with, and didn't do a video talk about where the players are going to. That's always cool to hear when free agency where players go where, and see which players we get. We could talk about it.
It's also exciting when the schedule comes out, knowing who our opponents are and when we're gonna play them.
And then asking ourselves who's going to be good and who's going to be bad, and we don't find that out till we get the eye test in August.
People go through they play the schedule and they figure out how many wins their certain team is going to have, and what games should be easy, what games might be tough.
Upset potentials.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, other than that, let's talk about which quarterbacks we think will go in our order for the draft. we'll talk about at least the top few. I think obviously the unanimous number one is Joe Burrow to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And then we probably get Tua Tagovailoa number 5 to the Miami Dolphins. I'm looking at Bucky's mock draft. Or could a team possibly survive and go like one of these teams like Detroit? Because we know the Redskins are probably going to take Chase Young at number 2, which would probably leave him another year at mediocre quarterback play. Maybe we'll have to.
Yeah, I wonder who the Giants pick.
Yeah, Bucky has them picking Jedrick Willis, offensive tackle out of Alabama, who's coming out of his junior year.
They're set the future for Daniel Jones.
Yeah. Number 5, and Bucky has Tua Tagovailoa going number 5 to the Miami Dolphins, which is everyone's obvious.
I could see that one. Playing in the Southeast again.
And
maybe.
What about Justin Herbert to the LA Chargers to open up the Chargers SoFi Stadium era, since obviously, both the Rams and Chargers will be going into the new stadium. But the Chargers, will they start Tyrod Taylor, Because I've been hearing some things about Tyrod Taylor's possible rumors of trading for Cam Newton. But could the Chargers also possibly be in the mix for Nick Foles?
Maybe, because it looks like they're going to let Rivers walk.
And where is Rivers going to land?
Honestly, I think he should retire.
He needs to retire. I mean, he moved his family to Florida and that too.
He's past his prime, and he looked bad at times this year.
He did.
But the Chargers were probably the most disappointing team, and one of the most disappointing teams in all of football this past year.
Yeah, but who knows? Do you think the Chargers maybe could be? Do you think they go Justin Herbert if they decide not to take a chance to trade for Nick Foles?
Justin Herbert going to the Dolphins.
Yeah, over Tua. Where's Justin Love?
It'd be interesting if Tua gets drafted by the Lions, or they just
Jordan Love was the quarterback.
He's had a lot of injuries the last few years. He's been injury prone.
Yeah, my bad. The name of that quarterback from Utah State is Jordan Love. My bad. I messed that up here in the 17-minute mark. So yeah, Bucky has Jordan Love, the Utah State quarterback, going to the Las Vegas Raiders at number 12.
So it sounds like maybe the Lions are just they're tired of Matthew Stafford.
No, I was talking about Jordan Love to the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, well, the Raiders, are they really sold on Derek Carr? Do they really think he's the answer?
I don't think Carr's the answer for Vegas. Honestly, and I've heard my friends talk about it at the bar, Sean Tolan, my buddy at the Roadhouse, and a couple other friends at Roadhouse. I don't think anybody really is sold on Derek Carr for the future success of the Las Vegas Raiders. Yeah, so we got to get used to saying Las Vegas now, since now it's official. Mark Davis made it official back in I think it was January, just some odd time before the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I wonder if it looks like the Redskins are going to draft Chase Young. I wonder if they try to give Dwayne Haskins another year. I mean, that quarterback situation there is a mess.
Could the Redskins possibly be on a move for Nick Foles?
Or could he be an upgrade?
Or could we possibly see the unthinkable, Nick Foles going back to the only team that he's ever played good for?
Yeah, I mean, are the Eagles really just are they invested in Carson Wentz?
I know they paid him, but if the guy can't stay healthy, I would just I would say say la vie and move on from Carson Wentz if he continues to get hurt.
I could see maybe the Eagles taking a shot at Nick Foles again.
Yeah.
Why not? He led them on a Super Bowl run.
Yeah, and
in place of Carson Wentz.
Yeah, who wears a ring because of Nick Foles.
Yep.
And
it'd be interesting if we went to back to the NFC East, if we went to Washington.
Yeah, another question would be who could be the potential steal of the draft too, Who could be a potential steal in the upcoming draft? We'll have to wait and find out, Now, the guy that ran the 4.27, Henry Ruggs from Alabama, Bucky has him going number 21 to the Philadelphia Eagles. But there could be a possibility that he maybe doesn't even make it out of maybe the top 10 or the top 20, which Philly's picking at number 21. so that puts them out of the top 20. But could a team possibly trade up for Ruggs, or maybe one of the other teams decide to, other than someone's mock draft, to mix up the draft and make one of the analysts' mock drafts wrong and go for a guy like Ruggs?
So they're trying to get Philadelphia trying to get another speed receiver.
Yeah, and then again, the Pittsburgh Steelers gave up their first round pick to trade for Minkah Fitzpatrick with the Miami Dolphins.
I wonder if Pittsburgh would try to go after Ruggs.
Well, Pittsburgh doesn't even have a first round pick since they traded that to Miami for Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Oh, so they're not even drafting him. Yeah, and I wonder who they draft. I wonder if they draft like a competent backup quarterback because Roethlisberger's days are numbered.
Yeah, but I heard Ben.
Even though he says he's going to come back and play this year.
Yeah, I still thought it was unfortunate about how his season ended last year, though. Even though it was against us, though,
Yeah, and then down the stretch, they still had a chance to sneak into the playoffs, and their quarterback situation at the end was it was a nightmare. Because then didn't Mason Rudolph get hurt, and then they were stuck with Devlin Hodges.
Yeah, Duck Hodges, Mason Rudolph. It was just a quarterback roller coaster. But
That's probably why they didn't make the playoffs.
But Mike Tomlin did a good job with that, with those two.
He still managed to. I think they lost like their last 3 games against Buffalo, the Jets, and then the Ravens. When the Ravens just mailed it in Week 17 in a rainstorm.
Yeah.
He still managed to get the Steelers to 500.
Yeah.
We thought after Roethlisberger, after the whole drama with Antonio Brown, and then obviously losing Le'Veon Bell to the Jets, and then Roethlisberger getting hurt the second week of the year, we thought this would be his first sub-500 season. They still managed to go 8-8.
Yeah, here's another question, though, too. Oklahoma quarterback and former Alabama quarterback Jalen Hurts. He ran a pretty good 40 time for the quarterbacks, too. Could you see Jalen Hurts... Where could you see Jalen Hurts possibly going in the NFL?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a pretty interesting quarterback class this year.
Yeah, true. And then Bucky had CeeDee Lamb going to the Dallas Cowboys. The receiver from Oklahoma.
He kind of plays in the Texas. I mean, he played at Oklahoma, but I mean, you match him up with Amari Cooper, that could be.
Well, Cooper might be leaving Dallas. He's a free agent.
So that's the reason why they're probably interested in CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, Cooper might be leaving Dallas.
So they have to get somebody to replace Amari Cooper.
And then the whole how much are the Cowboys going to pay Dak Prescott too?
And then I mean, who else do the Cowboys have at receiver?
Well, I know it was Amari Cooper, which they'll probably let him go. I never really paid much attention after they traded Cole Beasley, and then obviously they got. Oh yeah, they still have Tavon Austin. I know
Austin. Who else do they have? I know they brought Jason Witten out of the retirement.
Yeah, Jason Witten, the tight end.
Retirement.
And then also, other than the other stuff with the Cowboys, they got that freaking safety Byron. Was it Byron Jones?
Yeah.
Byron Jones. One guy had a rumor in free agency for Byron Jones to go to Denver and possibly replace Chris Harris Jr.
Did Chris Harris Jr. retire?
I don't know. I don't think Chris Harris Jr. retired, but I think he may be a free agent, or who knows what Denver is going to do with Chris Harris.
Denver, what are they going to do with their quarterback situation?
Maybe that could be an ideal landing spot for Jalen Hurts.
Who were they starting last year?
Well, it was Joe Flacco. Then they went Brandon Allen and Drew Lock.
Come back and be healthy, or is he just washed up?
I think Flacco's washed up. He had
one good Super Bowl run with Baltimore,
and that was it. And now the Ravens.
His shining moment was winning that playoff game, the Mile High Miracle during that Super Bowl run.
Yeah, and now the Ravens are Lamar Jackson's team, which Lamar is now 0-2 in the playoffs, which we were all pretty surprised at when we watched the Titans contain those gaps and shut them down.
The playoffs.
I
expect Baltimore to take a slight step back this coming year. I don't expect them to be 14-2 again.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but do you think now, after watching what Tennessee did, that teams would finally figure out the gap containment of forcing Lamar to the outside and running out of bounds and not giving them any running lanes? Because that Tennessee played that perfectly.
Yeah. Where is Denver drafting in the top 20?
Denver, let's see where Denver's drafting. I don't know where Denver's draft. They're not in the top 10. Cleveland's at number 10. The Jets are at number 11. The Raiders are at number 12. The Colts are at 13. We're at number 27. The Broncos are 15, and they're predicting and Bucky's predicting C.J. Henderson from Florida, the cornerback.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I probably have to draft a quarterback or something.
Yeah, but like we said, we don't know for sure what all is going to happen.
We don't know what teams are going to do.
But yeah, why don't you all give me your...
I wonder what the Colts are going to do, because, I mean, they started off half the year pretty good. They were a surprise. They were like the first half surprise, and then they just faded down the stretch, and I think they ended up finishing like 7-9.
Yeah.
I mean, Jacoby Brissett is not the answer.
Yeah, they're probably going to let him go, and Jacoby might go off and become a backup
Andrew
somewhere.
Luck retiring, that hurt. They probably would have been Super Bowl contenders last year.
I met his father at the first home game for the Dragons,
Yeah,
Oliver Luck, and I asked him how Andrew was doing after his
when
retirement.
Andrew Luck retired, that just left a void for them at quarterback.
Yeah, I asked Oliver at the first Dragons home game. I asked him if Andrew was doing all right ever since his retirement because of all the injuries. He said Andrew's doing pretty well, doing all right now after being out of the
Because I
league.
remember the Colts came on strong at the end of the 2018 season when they won like their last 10.
And then
they
bested Houston in the
beat
playoffs.
The Texans in the playoffs, and then they obviously lost to the Chiefs. But that Andrew Luck retirement just kind of hurt. We knew they were doomed in the preseason last year when we saw that announcement. We're like, oh, they're doomed.
Yeah.
And they were a nice little story for a while.
Yeah. Other than that, I think we basically talked enough on this one. Why don't you all give us your thoughts in the comments about what you think will happen. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, hit the thumbs up button. Sorry I haven't done a video in a little while. Free agency coming back soon. I will be active on that, and maybe me and Dallas will give some more thoughts on it too, along with you might get some appearances from Michael Mathis, because I'm having Michael Mathis over to do the NFL draft live on my new laptop when the NFL for the first round. Me and Michael Mathis will be going live that night. So anyway, thank you all for tuning in. Sam Dog, the Infamous 253, and Dallas Stewart about to sign off. If you ain't with it, you ain't infamous. As always, go Seahawks.